Welcome to Out of the Rough. I'm Fred Arnold, and in this show we're going to highlight opportunities and solutions to help get you out of the rough and into success both personally and professionally. In these tough economic times, I want to provide you practical solutions to many of today's challenges. And today I've got Sam Hicks. Sam Hicks is a certified public accountant.
Yes.
From Bridge PC, and extensive background in your job, tax, financial, business consulting.
Right.
Today we're going to talk about enterprise zones.
Yes.
And all about enterprise zones.
Enterprise zones.
They're the talk of the state right now.
Right now, especially, yes, because
Yeah.
of everything that's going on.
Let's talk about what are enterprise zones.
Well, enterprise zones are government designated areas that are in need of urban renewal or rural redevelopment or just job growth. And what has happened is the federal government at one time took the lead and said in the 1960s, we're going to try to do this, and the states realized that that just wasn't going to work. So states, starting in 1981 with Louisiana, following 1984 with California, started to develop these enterprise zones and give beneficial
tax treatment right.
and credits and deductions to certain businesses that operated within there and fell into qualified situations for it.
And now it's operated by the state of California.
State of California.
Right.
Yes, correct.
And what areas are in the zone? I mean, I know, was there 10, 11, 12, 20 zones?
There's over 40 currently.
40, okay.
Yeah, and they do expand and contract. Some are lost certain years. Some are actually grown out. Mm-hmm. They run as far north as the Oregon border, up there, Shasta County, and then as far south as San Diego, Calexico. So they do really, there's certain parts all across the state. Now,
parts of Santa Clarita are in an enterprise zone currently.
Correct.
And what are some of the benefits?
Some of the benefits, probably the two largest benefits have to do with sales tax credit and the hiring credit. And what happens with the sales tax credit is qualified equipment placed into service, up to $20 million worth per year.
Big numbers.
Big numbers. You can get a credit for the sales tax paid on those. So you're thinking over $1.6 million in credits for the sales tax portion of it for qualified equipment placed in service within the enterprise zone.
Wow, that's a lot. And the other part was?
The hiring credit, which is probably a better one for a lot and more all-inclusive for a lot of businesses that would be operating inside the enterprise zone. And what happens with that one is when an employee is hired, a qualified employee, which they have to be from a target employment area or a veteran, or they have to fit into a category.
Maybe someone had a couple strikes against them.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly.
Or senior, a certain age.
Right, and it gives them incentives to do that things inside the enterprise zone. You can get a credit for their wages for the first 5 years that they work. It's not 100%, but it is a large percentage, most of it being up front.
Now, I know a little bit about this. As the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce out here, I've had to study this quite a bit. And the one thing that I think that our elected officials do not get is, like, for example, in Santa Clarita, we have a lot of businesses that hire those that come from outlying areas that aren't as well off economically. But since Santa Clarita is a pretty well off they're trying to take away the enterprise zone in areas like ours, but they're not realizing that businesses in our area are hiring people from areas that are challenged.
And that's exactly it. When you look at where enterprise zones, the idea behind them and the urban renewal and that sort of thing, you don't see that in Santa Clarita. It is a healthy community.
A very established
and
community.
Everything. I think it had to do more with job growth out here that it was originally formed.
But the job growth here has been great for those that live in Palmdale, Lancaster, Pacoima,
exactly.
Sylmar, those that don't have quite the same job growth. And so people drive in, get the job, go back home, it's great. But unfortunately, they're going after a lot of the areas that are areas that are providing a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and unfortunately, right now the situation is that the state has, to balance its budget, had to get rid of some of the enterprise zones.
What's in store?
What's in store? Since Governor Brown decided to balance the budget and cut a lot of things, a lot of the benefits, including the ones that we discussed with the sales tax and the hiring credit, are going away. It's being replaced by another system that's not as beneficial to businesses. So what we want to do is make sure that any large purchases that companies were thinking of doing in the beginning of 14, maybe start that in December.
Move them up.
Get that done in 13, because all the benefits go away after the end of the year.
How can those that have a business see if they qualify?
The first thing to do would contact your tax advisor. They should be able to help you and see if you're within the zone, and then see if your activities would qualify for you.
And if your tax advisor doesn't specialize in enterprise zones, certainly call Sam.
Yeah. You can email me. It's probably the best way to get a hold of me. It's shicks@bridgepc.com.
Say it again, Shicks?
Shicks.
S-H-I-C-K-S.
@bridgepc.com.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for all you do. I know you belong to American Institute of CPAs and the California Society of CPAs. You do a lot of great work. Wanted to have you in to talk about this ever-evolving thing we're calling enterprise zones.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Hicks. Sam Hicks with Bridge PC Certified Public Accountants. We're going to jump to a quick break and we'll be right back.